Greetings, everyone. I had to completely reset all my computer settings about a day ago, so I'm not sure if you can hear me, but we're about to find out. Sorry for the inevitable echo. Greetings, everyone. I had to completely reset all my computer settings about a day ago, so I'm not sure if you can hear me, but we're about to find out. Sorry for the inevitable echo. Okay, well, it feels like you can't hear my Spotify, but I can turn that up. Now that feels very loud, but you know what? Meh. I'm gonna be changing my my headset soon, so that might be a little better. It might be able to pick up the sound without me having to hear it. So we'll give that a shot later. But for today, this is what we're working with. So say it again. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third session of the Second Imperial Parliament. I once again don't have a huge number of people waiting in Discord. In fact, I have no people waiting in Discord. And so today is pretty much just going to be you and me. Hello, Mr. Fish, Thor, James, and Cyberman, Ryan. Thor, no problem. You still have about 15 minutes left. I just figured I would start early, just to make sure my microphone was working. So I didn't want to start and then immediately cut it off in case people got the notification. So I figured I would just keep it going for the 15-minute wait. And so as I was saying a minute ago, we have 11 bills on the docket, which is a lot. And I know several people are not going to be able to make it, just because of the fact that we've got, just gotten past the holiday. So I know a couple of people are busy. Specifically, I know Half-Life said he wasn't going to make it. TS wasn't going to make it. I think Ovui, however that's supposed to be pronounced, is not going to make it. So I've gotten a couple of their votes to do the half-credit vote for people that are absentee. But it's always good to know who's going to be coming beforehand, so that's why I appreciate everybody letting me know. In case you are listening and are in Parliament, this is why you should send me whether or not you're going to be here. And then just to go over the docket today, just to let everybody know what we're looking at. So we have the Parliamentary Powers Act. It's a little bit of a sneak peek for all of you, because I don't think anyone else in the group knows about this yet, since the docket's hidden for Parliament. But the Parliamentary Powers Act is an amendment to an act we passed last session, which essentially invokes compulsory political participation for our British Parliament. And this specifically is going to discuss the cessation of debate. So if we debate for too long, we can end it at some point. I'm not going to go into the details of every person's bill. I want them to be able to present it in their own way and on their own route. But we do have that bill that is brought in by As Machina. We have the Elections Act, which is I think what we're going to discuss first. This talks about how to fill empty seats. As you know, Assassin left the Parliament, and so did Ninja Invictus, or Cute Cat Harper. So we are a little short on people, but this will be a good way to fix that. So those will be the first two that you see, and then I'll introduce the other ones as we go, and while people are talking about them, I'll kind of comment on them. But I figured I'd give you the first two. 11 bills, there goes my day. I don't think you need to worry. I've got a place to be tonight. I have family in town, and I came over to my house for this, but I've got to go over to my aunt and uncle's. So I figured I would go over there, but I wanted to make sure I was here for a little bit of this. And Thor said, "How's your Thanksgiving, Necros?" It was pretty good. I don't know how many dinners you all have, but I've got a lot of family here in Kentucky, and so we drove up, see family for one dinner. Then we came down back to where I live for another dinner. My parents are here from out of town. I'm here for college, so I'm far away from them. So it was a good dinner. What about you? How was your guys' Thanksgiving? I know we didn't have training. I was supposed to be the host because it was Thursday, and I did not think I was going to make it, so we ended up just canceling. Fresh, I'm watching your live stream right now. That's very based of you. Everyone watching my live stream is very based. Wigs have a nice crunch to them. Okay, are they talking about eating hair? This is why I sometimes just don't read global chat. I'm playing copyright-free classical music to go along with the theme, and I thought we were listening to the Death March from Star Wars, so I'm glad that was not what that was. Because I guarantee you that is copyright-stricken if it plays. I'm going to go ahead and shout that we're having a meeting, just so everybody has a chance to show up. I love having more spectators. It was good, I'm glad to hear it. Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays. I don't really celebrate hard, like, I just enjoy eating with family, and so it's good to spend time. I passed out after eating. I feel like it's not a good Thanksgiving if you don't pass out after eating. That's like the mark of eating a lot of food, good food. I will be sad if I'm the only CUA here. Our parliament is pretty small, so one person from a party isn't that big. You only have 2 other people in your party. It's not a big deal. Is that Donald Trump? What the world? That is Donald Trump. I think. Looks like Donald Trump here. Oh, there you are, Fresh. Hello. Who do we got spectating? There's Thor. As everyone can see, I finally got my seat back, although this does mean that if I look how I would normally be looking, all you see is this concrete wall. So, no, citizens can join and watch, James. You're feel free to join. The only thing you can't do is get down here, but you can get up in the spectator box. I guess should be able to bring you up there. If you can't join, that would be very strange. I'm not sure why that would be like that. Sorry if you hear me typing. I'm going to shout the session of Parliament. Okay, let me just copy that. I'll post it in here and on the government group. I'll post it in the home rule chat as well. Why not? There we go. It won't let you join. I mean, you're in EBI, right? As long as you're a citizen, you have to be in EBI to be a citizen. So I mean, as long as you're in the group, it should. I mean, maybe a message will make it. Thor, I do like your top hat. I like the stubble as well. You got a 5 o'clock shadow. That music is loud. It's very strange that it won't let you join. This is not classical music. This is like we're in the medieval times. What is this? I didn't want tavern music. Cat Girl Maid? That's what this is all really about. You all don't know this, but my magnum opus is just going to be my Cat Girl bill. Niller is here. Very nice. Okay, responding to Old, asking about how long the meeting will be. If anyone is wondering about the meeting, it will probably, at maximum, I'd say 2 hours. We have 11 bills, like I said, but I don't think we're going to get through all of them. So I don't think anybody needs to worry about staying here all night. Play rap music? That would be very funny if we were in the middle of discussing the socioeconomic status of Irish people in Britain, and in the background it's just continuously. Next, who's your favorite Civil War general? That's a great question. The obvious answer is Lee. Like, that's what I want to say, just because he's just well known as being one of the most influential generals in the Civil War. But I think I might say maybe Stonewall Jackson. I know he's also a pretty cliche answer, but I just think the fact that, you know, how he got his name. Oh, sorry, I thought there was an exploder. That's actually kind of scared me. I mean, just in general, he's a pretty bad man. I would not want to mess with him. So I would say Stonewall Jackson. I also named my first truck after him, so there's a little bit of a sentimental meaning. Little baby Monty is here? What? Bro, dude retired. He still shows up for the meeting. What a Chad. Alright, 4 minutes. Checking Discord quickly before we before we get into everything. George Henry Thomas. I know I've heard that name, but I won't lie. I don't know much about him. Let's look him up. United States Army officer and Union general during the American Civil War, one of the principal commanders of the Western Theater. Interesting. Mill Springs in Kentucky. Hey. Do love that state. Ah, that's why I know him. He fought Hood. Okay. Because I remember that Hood was, that's what Wikipedia says as well, but I'd heard that Hood was his student, and so it was kind of like a master beats student still. Hood hadn't achieved his final form in order enough to beat him. Oh, Spaded is asking where the stream is. Let me pull up a link. Love it when I go to YouTube and my first recommended video is a man in a suit, and the caption of the video is just "Gay Batman." It's a little scary. Let's share, copy link. Let's make sure the link is hidden so I don't cover everybody's Discord up. There we go. All right. Everything is looking good. The Romans colored statues with the color wore off. Yes, I've heard that. That's actually very cool. If you can't read what Omega said, or you didn't read it, you just stated that the Romans colored statues and the color wore off and they all look white now. Which is, it actually adds to, you know, statues already impressive. The fact that, you know, there's the one statue I've seen before where there was a woman carved into it who was like under a sheet, but it actually looks like a real sheet, and that's impressive. But to think of the fact that she might have, like, there could be color grading with things like that is just really impressive. So, I'm gonna ask if I pointed anyone today. Not yet. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I'm not good at tapping while I talk, or talking while I tap, I should say. So if I have to respond to someone, I'll probably go quiet for a minute. Okay, 529. Stream chat one more time. Whoa, I missed a lot. Stonewall Jackson when he got destroyed by his own boys. That's a fair point, Cyberman. He did get beat pretty bad. He got beamed by his own guys, but whatever. That's a horrible ending. Pretty bad during the Battle of Nashville, completely destroyed Hood's army in Tennessee. It's definitely impressive, even if the general is on an opposite side of what I would normally support. I think it's very impressive to see these generals and just how effective they were. Let's capitalize it. Technically, I guess the Second Imperial Parliament is the title. It's very cold in my house, and so my hands are cold. It's hard to type quickly. There's a Hitler in the spectator box? Ugh. Well, Blair is making a fascist party, so maybe that's what he wanted. I would say, I don't know if this is a popular opinion, but I would say that fascist parties are not based. That's the official platform of the Home Rule League is that fascism is not good. I don't know if you can believe that. Man, my fingers are cold. Disasters defeated Chickamauga, where the Union General William Rosecrans fled the field. He stayed behind with his men and saved the army of the Cumberland for the ultimate destruction. Very cool. Hello, Indigo. Hello, Fade. Let me make sure I have the act pulled up and everything. Okay, so, again, sorry I'm not very great at talking while I type, but specifically this bill, we did discuss it last time, and most of it is fine. However, there is a specific part. Let me type this out. Let Atticus have the floor. So he did change a little bit about the way we were going to do elections. So they wanted to do by-elections, which would essentially have the Parliament be forced to host another election to replace any empty seat. And that just didn't jive with me. I think with only a 4-month-long term, having another election takes so much away from the time we could be doing other things with Parliament, like preparing for the sessions. And so I think that was the major change that they made, and I think he'll go over this, but let me just pull it up. I'm actually going to share this in the Discord as well really fast. Parliamentary Elections Act. Let's just make sure everybody's got it. There we go. But I think most specifically, let's check it out. Intends to cover how Parliament should respond to seats that suddenly become empty in government. I'm not exactly sure what section number that is, so I'll let Atticus talk about it, and then I can pull it back for if necessary. Necros is quiet. Thank you for letting me know. It may be because I was looking away from my microphone while I was looking at my other monitor. If I talk directly into my mic, that may help. I have a 10-second delay. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. I actually didn't edit that myself. I think that's just the setting of what I'm using with OBS. But I'm not really sure. I can maybe look at it next time. Most notable thing about the bill is that it intends to cover how Parliament should respond to seats that suddenly become empty in government, which can be caused by multiple situations, such as a member of Parliament resigning or being removed from office. In general, 3 options or responses can be taken by Parliament when related to these empty seats. So essentially, this will be at my discretion for now. As Prime Minister, I kind of have the leeway to make the decision. First, the Prime Minister can choose to have an election or not to fill an empty seat. So my choice would not be not to have an election, because I feel like it is a little bit contrary to the time that we have to host that election. But in the future, whoever is Prime Minister, 10 years down the road when I'm not Prime Minister anymore, because obviously I'm going to win the next several elections since I do rig these. Just kidding, by the way. I don't rig the elections. But the next Prime Minister can host one if they'd like, which is nice. Man got banned. Did someone get banned? Second option is where Parliament can vote to allow a candidate from a previous election candidate list of a party that used to own that seat, an empty seat, to take over. Third option is simply allowing the Parliament seat to stay empty. So I did have a list of people in Parliament, and I checked it today, and unfortunately those seats, pretty much everyone on the list except for those who were elected, were out of the British group. So I have edited that list to have people in it to at the very top who are still in the group. So I will hopefully be I just edited the list to cut down the people that weren't in the group. So we'll see. You rig elections? Oh, okay. There definitely is a massive delay from the fact that Indy just said that. We do have... Okay, well, Jaco is gonna talk first. Ranger Invictus thinks he's making sense. I agree. A simple basic starter marine training. Wait, I'm so confused. What are we talking about? Scroll. What's good, my Necro? I've made like 36k Robux. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I can't click on your account from Streamlabs, and your name is in Chinese. I have no idea who you are. I feel like I should, but I don't. I guess I agree on what you're saying. I think this bill is pointless because we have elections already. I'll answer for Atticus there. We have elections at the beginning of a term, but these would be elections to replace empty seats, so it's a different concept. Thanks for making that point, Jacob. We are going. All right, let me pull up. He says, I know that. I still think we can replace the member without an election. Okay, well, I'm glad he thinks that, and I do appreciate that he made the comment. I don't think that's going to be something that we're doing here, so we'll just go ahead and take the vote. So, let's just go down the list. Nathan Invictus. He says aye. Another. Very based says aye. Raven. Raven and another are both very, very, very based. Also, not only for voting aye, but for showing up, which is appreciated. As well as all the SDF. You have 4 of them, so good on them for staying pretty active. I know As has not been very active recently, but I also am understanding that he is in Singapore, and so I'm sure that he is... I'm sure that he is very busy. I'm glad that Zane voted. Thanks, Zane. Where's Indy? There he is. And then Puffer Iturbid. As well. Did I miss anybody? No, I did not. All right. Oops. 1.5 to 0 to 0. Make sure both of them are here. Okay. Number 1 is going to be proposed as Satan. Let me jump him because I'm assuming he's sitting. Are we crouched in this game? No. It's good to know. Well, when I said they would call out, I guess it takes them a minute to grasp what I said. Make sure they read over it. Spaded, thanks for the vote. You're unfortunately not in Parliament, but I appreciate the confidence on my members. Nay for Jacob, what? You're in my party. Oh, he's not elected. Okay, I'm gonna mute him after this. Why would he vote no? Okay. From all elected members, that's an aye. Okay, I feel like I missed a lot of chat because... Oh wait, no one has talked. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss a person whose name is in Chinese telling me who they were, but they didn't, so never mind. Okay. Satan already getting the vote in. Let's go. 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I think we'll count that. Let's do a quick ceremonial entrance for both of them. Just for the fun of it, you know, just to look cool. There you go. Well, that went very well. Yeah, I'm sorry my typing is so loud. I had to turn my mic up to hear me, and this is just... I'm so bad at talking while I type. It's painful. And my noise suppression is not as effective as I would have hoped. Who is... What? Stop jumping. I'm about to kill him. Okay. Alright. With that out of the way, I guess I'll read what I'm typing so you don't hear just the clacking of my keyboard. Out of the way, we are going to move on in the docket. What's next up? Next, we have the Nominated Members of Parliament Act. Now, this is just for discussion, according to us, so I don't think we're going to vote on it. So I'm actually going to push that off for now. And instead, go to Parliamentary Powers Act, First Amendment. Okay. Was voted on last session. Who wishes to propose this? And let's post that in the Discord. Excuse me. I'll post this in the... I just realized I can post them. What type of keyboard do I have? I have a Logitech keyboard. One in which I do not know the name. But it's very loud. And I was told earlier by Spaded that I was quiet. So I turned my volume up, which is fair. If I'm quiet, I definitely want to be able to hear me. But it does mean that I'm a little bit loud. My stream is good. Thank you, Indy. I appreciate it. There's the Google Doc for the Powers Act, if anyone wants to give it a look-see. How do I adjust the stream delay that I have? Because I don't really want it. Stream. Nope, that's not it. Old has no drip? No. Only my meme video can say that. How dare you insult his massive drip? How the heck do I turn off stream delay? I don't understand. Please, stream delay, go away. It's gonna cut my stream. Probably doesn't let me do it while I'm streaming. Settings, advanced settings. Locate. Okay. Here's settings. Here's advanced. Stream delay. It's not even enabled. What? Okay. Well, I shouldn't have stream delay on. So apparently my internet's just bad. The amendment serves to limit debate time so that Parliament meetings do not take too long because of discussions on certain bills. If the bill is implemented, debate for a bill will have to stop after an hour of discussion, and the author of the bill or the party that authored the bill can choose to put the bill up for voting or delay it till the next session. If passed, this bill will take effect after this meeting because Necros already put a motion out for discussions today to take up to 20 minutes. I don't think the fascist party can be made in the 1860s Britain. Niche, please no outside comments. Feel free to discuss ideology outside of Parliament. I think this bill is valuable with how often we have to cut debate short. I would honestly say that an hour is too much. An hour is too much for the base level. I would propose that we start with 30 minutes maximum, but a majority can agree either through vote or just calling out informally to extend it to the hour, and that be the full cutoff. That would, if every, as it is, I should say, every bill took the maximum amount of time, we would probably only get through 2, as we've been doing, which is unfortunate. This change would maybe allow 4 or so, and probably more, because we'd keep time. It cuts me off. Because we'd keep the time in mind. Having said that, the limit is good. So if the SDF is not wanting to bend on this, I will still vote yes. Like it, they may request it, but I would otherwise put this to a vote after the SDF gives an answer. Anarchist says he's open to 30. Very good. Open to 30. So let's assume we're voting on the bill with that amendment. If there is no objection, let's take it to a vote. Okay, let's give it about a 15-second counter before I start the vote, just to make sure that I don't miss any objection. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Call out. Well, I shouldn't say call out twice. Say your vote when I call out your name. Let me pull up my vote counting document just to make sure we've got it pulled up. Let me just add a note that we're amending this so I know to tell everyone in the end. Parliamentary Powers Act amended to 30 men's debate with 1 hour extension possible. Just so I know to check that later if I need to do so. Alright, and Oh, I forgot that he left. Okay. I will vote I. Another turbid. And Raven left. Unfortunately, he did not send me his votes, so I'm just gonna. I can't count him as an absentee vote, which is a bit stinky, but that's okay. I will just count myself and another. Atticus. I'm assuming he's gonna vote aye, since it's his party's bill. But what we voting on? Sorry, buddy, you're muted. Well, Greek nationalist is pretty based. Atticus says aye. Eliza. She says aye. Perfect. Indy. Why are so many people named after countries right now? I muted Greek nationalist and then immediately after Soviet Union talks. That's not even a base country to name yourself after. Puffer says yes. Perfect. And I did not receive... I received no absentee votes except for Avui for this bill. So it passes 5.5 to 0 to 0. All right. Well, that's good. Oh! Wait, I didn't call on Satan or Sinister because I was checking for MP in the leaderboard. Let me just make sure I have Satan's vote. Not very fair of me to not count him or Sinister after electing them in. Very much appreciate Sinister and Satan doing this. I know that they were not running for Parliament originally until like right at the very last moment. And so them doing this at the last moment and kind of taking up this mantle after not expecting to be in Parliament is very, very noble, and I appreciate it. Let me make sure I tell Atticus, yeah, sure. That's what I was thinking as well. Okay. Sorry. Excuse the gaps in a silence after votes. I have to type out the number of votes. Votes counted. Cyberman, you've been very active for the Parliament meetings. I would be happy to have you on the election list. We did just fill our 2 empty spots. If someone were to leave, then absolutely, I think you'd be a good choice. But otherwise, we have one more session after this one, and then we're doing an election, and I would love to have you run because you've been very active, so I would be happy to put you on the list. So if that's something you're interested in, when I start putting out feelers for who wants to run, I'll let you know, and we can put you on the list for sure. If you're allied with another party in EBI, combining votes with your allies is just unfair for other parties. That's actually a fair point, and I think it's an interesting view of the British government. I will explain why that happens in a moment. Let me type out what we're doing next, but I will answer that in a second. All right, we are going to move on to the musical fife bill. Let me capitalize that. I will quickly explain what's going to happen here. Ice Machina, the member of Parliament, made a fife tool for in-game. He wants to put it at HQ, and while Parliament does not control the army game, rather Omega, we can give an advisory vote. This is essentially a recommendation from Parliament to the, I love saying Parliament, King himself. I don't think this needs to be presented, really. Pull up the bill just to make sure that there's nothing I'm missing. But I think it's just the fact that it would be added to the game. I'll quickly cover some points of the bill. The fife is a tool that can be obtained, like many at HQ, by clicking on it in game. It would only play British songs or hymns, and all people are expected to play it respectfully, not to spam if a glitch. I didn't have time for that. It's a fairly simple bill, and we are only advising His Majesty on it. So I'm going to go ahead and call the vote. I think the tool is well made, and I edit it according to Omega's needs for HQ. Okay, let's go down the list. I will vote aye. Another. Make sure I've got my list pulled up. Another is voting, and he says aye as well. Saden. Very good. Oh, they got MP. Thank you, Omega. That's very nice. My internet dies 3 times, says Verdite. What a rip. Okay, let's move on to Indy. Okay, for example, if the election of EBI is happening and you see you're losing, you can't combine votes with the person you're allied with and have the most votes. Just not fair for others. You sound like Corpse Husband, you have a deep voice. I don't know if I sound as deep as him, but I appreciate the comment. BLZE, I do understand what you're saying. So in terms of elections, we can't combine votes. So I couldn't have my votes, go towards the Social Democratic Federation or anything. The way it works is that hold on, sorry, that's so hard to tap and talk. Didn't vote. I have it passing with a record of 7.5 to 0 to 1. Okay, so that's good. Let's close the fife bill. Close the Powers Act and the Elections Act. Next in my list, I have reparations to Qing China for the Opium Wars, which I will post in just a moment, the link of the bill. All right. Next, we have a bill providing reparations to, I can't spell, China for the Opium Wars. Who would like to propose this? An ant looks like Hitler. Yeesh. Lots of Hitler lovers today. I can't say the word opium. Okay, so while Atticus is explaining that, let me really quickly explain what I was saying, BLZ. So I can't give my votes to Atticus or his party for elections. We are only elected based on how many votes our party gets. So in short, I have a list of, say, 10 people who could be elected, and I receive a certain amount of all 465 votes that we get. Well, we calculate percentages, and I only get a certain percent of the electorate, and that's how many percent of the candidates I can get. Now, when you say that we can't combine votes to get a bill passed, that's just the way British government works. So it is rare, if ever. The Conservative Party did it recently, but it's not very common at all to have a British government that's a single party government. Most of the time, coalitions are going to have to form in order to get what you want done, and this is supposed to be a unifying thing, so that parties will, befriend each other. Like for the Qing China Act, my party does not support reparations, not to us or from us. But one of the stipulations of Atticus voting for my party for prime minister, and now he wouldn't have got it anyway. We would have had a hung parliament, which means there's no majority. But one of the tenets of our agreement is that my party will support this bill. In reality, I would say that we should not be expecting China to pay us, but they should not be paid by us either, and we shouldn't give reparations to them. And this is actually a pretty common thing to see as these coalitions. For example, Sweden just had an election. I don't know the name of the prime minister that was elected. I don't know her name. Sweden PM resigns. Let's look up her. Parliament is dumb. We should have absolute monarchy. Let's just mute this retard. I probably shouldn't say that word on Discord. Or on stream. So her name was... I'm going to definitely not pronounce this correctly. Her name is Magdalena Andersson. So she was appointed and won the prime ministership. She's a social democrat in Sweden. But she had a budget bill that was a major part of the agreement with some of the coalition that she was in, that would have, basically set the budget for Sweden in the coming years. Well, as she got her win, the one of the parties in the agreement basically backed out because she had allowed a far-right party, or what she sees as far-right, to make a couple of demands on the budget bill, and they said they weren't willing to compromise with the far-right, and so they pulled out of their coalition with her, and she lost her prime ministership. So it can seem unfair to have those extra votes with the coalition, but in fact, it's really a necessary thing for a government to run in Europe. Plus, China is weak at this point, said Thor. Yeah, especially in 1860, China's not incredibly strong. Are there any comments on the floor before I speak? I'm going to basically say exactly what I just said. I don't personally support these reparations, but my party has agreed, and so I call for my party members to vote. Oh my gosh, Britt, I really don't like meeting you. I'll allow cheers and boos like Blair, but please do not call out comments until I say to do so. Zane, let me speak, and when I open it to the spectators, you can talk. My party... Do I love women? Yes. Not every woman, but yes, if I were going to love someone, it would be a woman. That's a great question for Parliament. What's the word I'm looking for? Is ideologically opposed to the ideas of reparations. That means... that includes those coming to us. China should have never had to pay us any money, but similarly, we should not have to pay them back. Oh, sorry if you hear dogs barking, that's going to be annoying. Having said that, my party has discussed this with Atticus. Oh my goodness. Hold on just a second. Cassidy. Please no barking, sweetheart. That's my dog, Cassidy. Hope everyone enjoys her and her sound that she's making. It's very loud and probably annoying. So, having discussed this with Atticus, I would like to call for the Home Rule League members to vote aye on this bill as a show of gratitude and friendship towards the SDF. I yield the floor. Atticus, you may have it. And I stand by what I said. This is a friendship movement that we made with Atticus' party. As we talked about coalitions, one of the things in coalitions is they're not going to blindly support us. I'm not going to try and tell my party what they have to vote. But yeah, Thor is correct. The Qing dynasty is weak, and part of that is because they paid a lot of money to the British government, and I don't support the reparations at all. Even modern and realistically, I don't see the use of them. We shouldn't have to pay someone back for mistakes that we made, and they shouldn't have to pay us for mistakes they made. It's a stupid response to political issues. Oh, that's great. Hashtag indeed, Atticus. Hashtag indeed. Is Britt still here? I was gonna unmute him and let him talk. Yeah, he is. Okay, I'll unmute him when he gets a chance. In fact, I'll unmute him now. I think he knows that I wanted to talk. But so the idea of reparations, and I posted this bill earlier, but I didn't post it in this chat. So let me post it here in the YouTube channel comments, in case anybody wants to see it. Drug G's. Does Omega have any rats? No. Plus, why should we pay them? We won the war. You're right, Thor. This is sort of an apologist strategy to pay people that we beat. But so essentially, they're going to revise the Treaty of Nanking or Nanjing to allow British citizens rights and citizenships in the ports, which is something they didn't have, and that is a benefit. So what Atticus is saying is basically we the British provided a large amount of opium to the Chinese people, and they attacked back. And he's saying that they shouldn't have attacked us just to prevent this, but a country shouldn't seize land after flooding the country with drugs as well. Now, Hunter votes nay. Okay, thank you for letting me know that, Hunter. I don't know if you're in the stream, but so he says he believes the country shouldn't seize land after flooding the country with drugs as well. Now, here's where I think we just have ideological differences. Qing was a puppet to basically every country they were afraid of. Yeah, you're not wrong. The fact that we're paying them back is just ideologically does not line up with the Home Rule League. And it kind of goes to the fact of what Thor said is we won. I mean, we didn't take all of their land, and we made the Treaty of Nanking, which is, I mean, was pretty slated one way, but that's because we were victorious in the highest sense that we could be. The provision of the British government not being able to blockade the Qing, which is an act of war, as well as the return of Hong Kong territories will be not dropped by us, open to dropping financial compensation for the Qing dynasty. Oh, I didn't expect that. Honestly, I was going to vote yes anyway. Of course, in reality, I support Hong Kong. The Home Rule League did take issue with the monetary provision, but as I said, I have instructed my members to vote aye. I think that they are going to be extremely compelled by this amendment, and I appreciate the gesture by the SDF. once again be home. I would like to call for my members to vote aye on this bill. Can't type again, as I will. I yield the floor and now open to spectator comments. Please request it and I will grant the floor one at a time. Does Omega have rights? Omega has every right. I think every single one. In fact, he can't be prosecuted. He can do whatever he wants. He's got the right to do literally anything he like. I'm assuming this Zane kid is going to want to talk because he spoke earlier. That's exactly what I was expecting. Zane, you may speak, and then Monty. Okay. Very good. I love hearing comments from the outside. It's very, very, very good. Let me mark down Hunter's vote for that just to make sure that I have it saved. Nothing for the blockade. I'm assuming that's nothing. But Qing was basically, if Britain was in economic growth during the Boxer Rebellion or Opium Wars, why should the Qing pay them? Well, yeah. So the I don't. Unfortunately, I have not memorized the Treaty of Nanjing. Let me look it up. I'm not exactly sure what all the tenets are. I read it like once for school, and then I kind of skimmed it for this. Yeah, so basically, because obviously Britain was making money for have the will to stop any trade like us. Wait, what? I think they do. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. But basically, to what you were saying, Britain was economic growth during the Boxer Rebellion, Opium Wars. The Chinese are the ones that attacked the British. Like, they started the kind of combat for this. And so because of... and also they confiscated a lot of money from the economic gain of the British people, while the British people in China. Obviously, Wikipedia is not a perfectly reputable source, but it says the Qing government was obligated to pay the British government 6 million silver dollars for the opium that had been confiscated by Lin Zexu in 1839, $3 million in compensation for debts that merchants in Canton owed the British merchants, and a further $22 million in war reparations for the cost of the war. The total sum of $20 million was to be paid in installments over 3 years, and the Qing government would be charged an annual interest rate of 4% for the money that was not paid in a timely manner. Qing government undertook to release all British prisoners of war and give a general amnesty to all Chinese subjects who had cooperated with the British during the war. The British, on their part, undertook to withdraw all of their troops from Nanking, the Grand Canal, and the military post at Jinhe, as well as not interfere with China trade generally after the Emperor had given his assent to the treaty and the first installment of money had been received. I'm going to butcher these words, so I'm not going to say them. But British troops remained in several places until the Qing government had paid reparations in full. And of course, what Atticus is overturning is the cession of Hong Kong, which would have gone to the British. Now, the fact that Hong Kong, we stole it from the British government, and we should give it back as 3 reasons. I think that's already in the part of this, so I mean, I'm glad he's making the point, but I think that's what we're doing. But specifically, it says Robert Montgomery Martin, the treasurer of Hong Kong, wrote in an official report, the terms of peace having been read, Eli Po, the senior commissioner, paused, expecting something more, and at length said, "Is that all?" Mr. Morrison inquired of Lieutenant Colonel Malcolm, Pottinger's secretary, if there was anything else, and being answered in the negative, Eli Po immediately and with great tact closed the negotiation by saying, "All shall be granted. It is settled. It is finished." So the Qing government agreed to make Hong Kong Island a crown colony, ceding it to the British Queen Victoria for a lengthy period. And the Chinese version of the treaty is a different pronunciation, one of which I cannot do. to provide British traders with a harbor where they could careen and refit their ships and keep stores for that purpose. Pottinger was later appointed by the first governor of Hong Kong. In 1860, the colony was extended, with the addition of the Kowloon Peninsula. In 1898, the Second Convention of Peking further expanded the colony with a 99-year lease of the new territories. And then obviously later on, Hong Kong has basically the Sino-British Joint Declaration or the Question of Hong Kong transferred it to the Chinese in 97, which was unfortunate. I think roleplay-wise, we are guaranteeing that we are allowed to careen and refill in Chinese ports. In reality, I believe, and I'm going to make this statement, we should be #America as we fought with them. The Emperor should be asked by an emissary of the King to guarantee the allowance of British peoples to refill at Chinese ports. And if they are not allowed in any circumstance, they should, well, I don't think there's any comeback that we could make, or not comeback, response that could be made at the time, because obviously it would be within Chinese authority. But they should simply be aware of the fact that Britain will be watching and will reserve the right to make a move if they disagree and don't follow the terms that they're agreeing to. I agree with you, with Thor. We did not steal Hong Kong. I fully agree. All right. Thank you, Zame. Monty requested the floor, so I will give it to him. Hunter, you're on deck. Okay. Now, this is the discussion that I like. So when did we start this debate? I'm going to say we started it at 6:15. So at 6:45, we'll cut it in the end. I'm going to ask, when did we start giving land to those who oppose us? When did we start condemning the trade of anything to another country because that country's government attempts to restrict it? I should have let Atticus respond. I'll let you respond after this. I find this utterly concerning coming from the party that says they support free trade. This is not free trade at all. Complete takeover of the March of the Empire. I fully agree. I 100% agree with him. This is the sort of roleplay that I want with Parliament. Now, I fully agree with Monty. In reality, it truly is a restriction on free trade. There is nothing that should limit the tradable items to... I think specifically it says in Wikipedia, once again, I know that, like I said, I know this isn't perfect. The fundamental purpose of the Treaty of Nanking, was to change the framework of foreign trade imposed by the Canton system, which had been enforced since 1760. Under Article 5, the treaty abolished the former monopoly of the Kohong and their 13 factories in Canton. 4 additional treaty ports opened for foreign trade along Canton on Chamin Island, Amoy, Fuchofu, Ningpo, and Shanghai, where foreign merchants were to be allowed to trade with anyone that they wished. Britain also gained the right to send consuls to the treaty ports, which were given the right to communicate directly with local Chinese officials. The treaty stipulated that trade in the treaty ports should be subject to fixed tariffs, which were to be agreed upon between the British and Qing governments. So let's see what Atticus is saying. First of all, responding to Monty, I'm concerned about Monty actually paying attention to this bill when we said that we would not give financial compensation to the Qing dynasty. Second of all, put yourself in these shoes. Imagine you have a foreign country ignoring all of your rights as a country, your country be regulating your own, and that country is also shipping drugs against your will. And then once you try to stop your citizens from having their lives ruined because that country is violating your rights as a country, you get invaded anyway because you tried to help your citizens, and you tried to exercise your right as a country. Okay, Britt, dude, I don't know if you're in the stream. I've said multiple times not to talk out of line. It's not that hard. At least the Bob the Builder kid is requesting the floor. Stop making comments. On top of that, you get your land taken because you tried to exercise your sovereign right to regulate your own economy. I'm pretty sure the only extremist who likes any principle in the other person who asked this, Monty, should be ashamed of himself. I can't think of anyone who would support shipping drugs to another country. Well, I mean, I kind of support. I'm just kidding. Of course, Atticus is correct. Who would support shipping drugs to another country? That's crazy talk. And then invading that country for trying to exercise its own rights as a government. That is no government takeover of markets. That's just a basic right of a country. I yield the floor. You have the floor. I will reopen it to spectator discussion after Hunter. Not sure what to vote in this bill since it went Bert. I see it this way, and I'm going to say this. Monty is correct. The limitation of free trade on British merchants is something to be concerned about. And the Home Rule League has made it clear that we support free trade for all peoples. Having said that, the first mention of this would be, and if I can, let me just check with their editor of the treaty. Let me check Article 5. Are you Reds insane? There go the dogs again. Let me check the treaty really quick, just to see what's on Article 5. Cassidy, go ahead, please. Hey. Okay, let me mute myself really fast. Cyber, that's okay if you have to leave. Okay. I did not yell at my dog, I promise. I just didn't want you to hear me. Spoke got crazy with the baby man comment. You're very correct. Cheers the based hunters standing up to the pro-tyrannical SDF. It's an interesting comment. I find it interesting that Blair is booing this edit to the treaty when he's not complained about the treaty itself requiring the Qing government to pay us back. Radical socialists would give away the whole empire if they could. What is this? What is this, 2016? What are radical socialists? Over feelings of our enemies. I love this debate. I'm so glad we have a bill that's actually being heavily argued over. Okay, I'm gonna have to actually start writing down who's taking the floor next. So I'm gonna go after this. Floor is going to be me, Puffer, Atticus, and then we'll go from there. Cassidy. Sweetheart. You don't have to bark every time something moves. It's okay. It's very okay. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Something is very obviously moving outside. Cassidy. Can't spell the word ridiculous, apparently. Whew, that was a mouthful. The bill is stupid. Thor, I mean, I see where you're coming from. Reparations are not good. But it is also not good to force them to pay us reparations. We cannot be a free trade government if we force them to pay us back, because that's slanted in our favor, and that's not free trade. We always have that hand over them that disallows us from truly trading freely. No, it is a requirement of free trade to have equal standing for both nations involved. And that cannot happen with what the fascists, apparently, I would not have ever called the Conservative Party fascists. I don't want to be a reactionary, but it seems to me like that's the way that even they're trending, which is frankly absurd and disappointing. So instead, I have to support a bill of the Social Democratic Federation that I don't like, that gives back land that we shouldn't have to give back, and that frankly is ours now. But better this than, what, allowing them to forever be in our debt? No. I'm gonna mute this kid. Who is this? I'm sure he's probably already muted, but who knows? Both sides make compelling arguments. I see what you're saying. I think Blair screaming out, "Booze the Prime Minister who has a confirmed small brain," is a bit cringe. But, you know, other than that, it's okay. Interesting. Atticus says that he's open to delaying all other bills for today in order to just discuss this. That's an interesting idea. I don't know how much time it would take. Okay, please stop. Oof, that's rough from Puffer. That's fine, Atticus. Even spectators give a good talk for this bill. I agree. I think this is probably my favorite discussion we've had so far in this parliament. I think it's been very interesting. This brings back the home rule discussion from the first parliament, which is really, really fun. I love this. This is why I wanted to do parliament. This is why, although I love Ais Machina and the fact that he's written so many well-structured bills, and of course this is his bill, I think, him and Atticus, or he and Atticus, so I'm not saying that he doesn't do well, or this is just listed as him, so I'm not trying to diss on his other bills, but ones that are regarding the actions of the group, the army, I think make less interesting debate because most of us are for them, or people just get butthurt over, I don't know, just for random reasons someone gets offended because they don't like what was said to them or something like that. But this kind of thing is what Parliament should be about. It's just roleplay. This is not going to affect the group in any way at all, of course. We don't have real currency we have to go give to some random Roblox Qing China group. But it allows us to, flex the political ideologies of our groups, to have a real discussion over those ideologies instead of just yes, I like this musical fife. Yes, I also like this musical fife. So I think this is a really valuable discussion to have, and I'm really enjoying it. In the Discord, Blair said, SDF and Home Rule League, we want to give China land for free. The average Briton, so you want to give China land for free? SDF and Home Rule League. Well, yes, but actually no. And they want to give China land for free. Omega Foot said, cool. So they also want to give money to China. Something about the party hirings. We have clarified now almost 10 times that we are not giving money to China. Very expected of the to intentionally misconstrue everything we say. A lot of the spectators have good opinions regarding this bill, but either didn't make Parliament or didn't run for a spot. A lot of time, but it's got a good talk to say. Another, yeah, I agree with you. This is kind of, we were doing really well. We got through more bills than normal, and we were only a couple in. But I don't know. It's an interesting discussion. We may extend it, and I'll go back to the spectators after this. I'm not really counting them right now. I'm just gonna, once this is done, I'm gonna allow them to request the floor again. Because technically we've reached the end of discussion time, so I'm going to let Puffer finish. Cassidy. No barking, please. So Fire Mage, and then General Black Hawk, and then it was Thor, and then Verdot. Okay. Phew. One of Omega's guards, supposed to be impartial and serious, is now stepping up to speak. Okay. I've been silent for a long time because at this point I'm frankly just engrossed in this discussion. So I think I'm going to join the Discord, which has now grown a good bit, so we can talk and you can hear the thoughts of the other people in the group. So we'll go ahead and enter that.
SDF goes right against their own party? How based is this?
I mean, there
Maybe
can
I'll
be
ask if this one
challengers
goes
in
against
our
their
own
party as well.
party.
You can't control their government. What better time to settle this debt? I don't know what that means, but babe. Sure, whatever. If not, they may result in war. Dude, we're like 50 times stronger than them. We need to crush them. Yeah, they'll think we're weak if we just give them shit. They'll think we're weak.
Let's play some Halo.
Keep in mind that this guy is going directly against his party.
Hey,
There are some opposers in our party, you know that.
Someone should make the argument that if a party's own members dispute this bill,
I'm muted in the chat. If you guys can hear them well while they're talking, just say so in chat, and then if you can't, I'll turn them up. So just let me know.
And old!
Necros.
Good day, Conrad Old!
Necros is here. He's here.
Necros!
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here watching the fascist party that somehow mind-bogglingly says they're free trade now openly admit to not supporting it. Before they've even started their platform, they're admitting to lying on their ideological list. You can't call me out for talking about free trade whenever you say that you support it and don't.
You know what? I do support free trade, but you know what
Look at the chat. Look at the game chat.
What I say? What I say? What I say?
Oh my gosh. This dude has the biggest balls
Where,
of
man? You
anyone
gotta
in the
calm
game,
down.
bro. What the heck? Oh my gosh.
This man is
What did he say?
Look at the game chat.
I don't even remember what I said. It was bullshit.
No one can even remember.
SDF have been good, but because of this, I resigned from SDF. What?
dude,
Oh my gosh.
another
I'm sure he's
SDF
mad
made
because
the
of the
freaking
window
person
there.
just cheered him on.
Oh
How
my
base?
gosh.
Base.
I'm laughing so hard.
Oh my god, this is so...
So I was dealing with that.
3.
We're still on the
Or maybe
first.
4. I think it's 3.
It's 4. It's the fourth one.
We did. What was it? It was the. Oh yeah, you're right.
We did the
Four.
first
Yeah,
one.
exactly
Yeah, I remember.
stated. It is.
I remember.
So
This is
I
four.
guess it's gotta be.
So
no
let me
training
get this
tonight.
straight.
We'll see.
Another SDF member cheers this on, and so does a Home Rule member.
Yeah,
I'm so
Damn.
confused.
Damn. General Blackhawk has the biggest balls I've ever
General
seen.
This is like 3 people in all of your.
Oh shit, Atticus Dude, the infighting. Who's the
Bro,
real
or-
tyrant?
You're
The
the
people
person
who
who's
always
got like
blame.
several of your members opposing this bill. Just because you created this bill, this doesn't mean that outlines the party itself. Even though you're just the leader.
Listen,
going on?
He called us tyrant, gangster.
How are we the tyrant?
know.
bro?
That's what I was about to say, but I'm gonna get
stop.
fucking
He's
gangster.
calling his own
got that
country
right.
tyrannical. What is this? I've never seen
Don't
anything
jump
like
on
this.
me right now.
Oh,
Rebel.
Hey, dog! Stop jumping on me.
People need those drugs to survive. If we just cut them off, then they're gonna go insane.
Yo, old.
What the fuck?
Nice pistol.
Nice chair.
Frick off!
Yes. Yes.
Bro, jokes are
Let me see this. I'm already an ex-parliament.
Omega Foot looking like a nightingale from Skyrim.
serious.
Microphone, good looking.
Yeah, China tried to help its own
oh,
citizens.
so we-
China help its
Okay,
own
so
citizens.
basically-
That's a laugh.
How is that a laugh?
Look like we just waddled over little
China has slavery. China oppresses Christians. This is the most ridiculous.
We
thing I've ever
we are
heard.
not the morality police of the world. We should focus on our country, and they should focus on theirs. But they can't focus on their country when the supposedly How are we policing them now? How are we policing them now? That's what I don't understand what
Now
you're
trying
saying.
to be the morality police of your own country by giving them back.
Yes, we are the morality police of our own country. That's what Parliament is. But we have no say into the government of Qing China.
Big government trying to tell
The fact that someone from
Makes sense.
from Britain is trying to make laws to determine what's going to happen to people in China is absurd. A man that doesn't understand how government works is standing in front of you telling you that he makes decisions for the Chinese.
Hey, I'm just trying to help the Chinese not go back into slavery, bro. That's why it's only them come to Hong Kong, bro. We're advanced
So instead of
in-
going back to slavery, you'd rather they become mindless, drug-addicted fools that can't make decisions for themselves? That's not very much better. That's not any
they'd be
better.
in Hong Kong. We outlaw them. So
Oh, they're all going to go to Hong Kong?
most of them. Then we can
Most
raise
of
an
them?
army and establish the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom.
Okay.
Honestly,
Well,
that's
that's an
what
absurd. That statement is so absurd. I hope no one votes for his
Are you
party.
telling- are
The
you
fact
telling
that
me
he
Hong-
made
are
that
you-
statement.
Are you telling me that Hong Ji Kwang is not the brother of Jesus Christ?
Necros is anti-Christian.
Necros is
He admits it.
anti-Christian.
He admits
I'm
it.
anti-forcing the Chinese to be Christian. Yes.
He's anti-Christian. That means he's
They're not
anti-Christian.
forcing anyone to be Christian. They're giving out pamphlets.
Bro, the only
Yeah,
China
pamphlets.
I
Okay.
recognize-
Okay.
That's all.
Is the
That's all
British
they're doing,
construction.
bro.
Mm-hmm. All right. Who's next?
I think I'm next.
I believe Blair isn't actually, in fact, the next person that needs to go.
Wait,
Blair
what?
can't go
Wait.
twice.
What?
Oh,
Where
didn't
did
you
you
go?
go?
here?
Where did I go?
Dude, you're the one that made like the first statement regarding this bill.
You're only,
That
you're
sounds
only
like
allowed
cat, bro.
to, you're only allowed to talk once.
It's once
That
per
sounds like
discussion of a bill for each person,
I-
or
yeah,
else,
yeah.
or else there'd be no
Exactly,
point in
Rick,
being
you're
elected.
not
We'd just
gonna
have a
say
main
anything.
democracy.
I've only ever
Well, no.
been. I've only ever.
We need to vote.
no
We
way
need to vote on
speaking
this.
this
We need
shit, Brit.
We need to go on to the next bill. We need to vote this.
This will be the last bill of the session. I mean, there's.
Okay.
A fucking exactly corpse.
I can't imagine. I mean, I'd be happy to go on a little longer after this one, but I don't imagine.
A
I think everyone else.
fucking-
Atticus said he
It's
doesn't
only
want to do any more bills.
8:07, we got time.
It is AIDS.
Necros,
what
take all the time
next
you
bill?
need. Because
Yeah,
honestly,
Necros, follow
if there's
me.
no training, I'm fine because.
I mean, let's be honest here. Parliament's way more.
So this is a fourth member of your guys' side
this is all
opposing
about
your own
opium.
bill.
I very clearly told the
I
members of
don't
my
know
party that they're
either
allowed to form their own
because
opinions on this bill. I'm not.
checked.
Unlike you all, I'm not going to
Parliament.
force an ideological belief. I allow my people to make their own decisions, and if they
Just
believe that,
teaching them common
Imagine
sense.
not enforcing an ideological belief. That's pretty rich.
well, you did just state the
only,
fact that you were going to go to war with the Chinese to force them to be Christian, so I think you are. But
Daggum right, I am, bro. That's chat.
okay,
Chat.
so are you forcing an ideological
All
belief or
all
not?
he's doing is saving their souls.
I'm
That's it.
saving. I'm
Saving
saving
their
their
souls.
souls from eternal
Oh
damnation.
my
He,
god.
he wants them to go
And
to heaven.
and the
That's
number
what
of the amount of innocent British soldiers that you're going to basically put to death for a pointless
No,
war, that
we're
doesn't
gonna
matter to you.
use- No, we're going to use the Chinese to immigrate to Hong Kong.
Corpse.
So
Jeez.
so you
got a
say that
plan,
you're saving
bro.
them from slavery, and then you're saying that they're going to fight for you. What, are they not slaves in their own
Yeah,
right?
what the
No,
hell,
they're
corpse?
fighting.
Bravo,
They're
Pedro,
fighting for
chat.
themselves and their eternal souls.
So do they get a choice?
Well, I mean,
Corpse.
they're living in
Did they get a
Hong Kong.
choice?
Chinese, they must be Christians.
You can answer this question with a yes or no. Do they get a choice?
No, I do not support abortion.
Lovely.
Word.
That's all I needed.
See you guys.
Bye, Monty.
Bye. Good luck
I'll
with
let
all this
Monty.
controversy.
Yep.
Thank you.
Everyone sees the corpse.
So how's your day,
Discord
Nicholas?
chat.
Pretty good. How about yours?
I
That's
replied
pretty
to
good.
that.
What
I'm
happened
gonna go.
to,
Are there
who-
gonna be a
who's-
training
hold
at
on.
fighting round?
Yo, Knuckles, did you see my fit on Snapchat, man?
No, man. I honestly don't use Snapchat like at all anymore.
Disappointing, bro. You got them. You missed the fit.
Hold on. Sorry, I had to be quiet while I respond.
Bro, I just got a friend request from General Black. Or Black.
Jesus, Brit, how much images are you gonna post? I've literally gone over the whole claiming China, but I don't need more to shout over. Jesus.
Carlson's doing shit.
And fucking exactly, Brit. As should be.
Can't believe I got on.
Crusade against Chinese slavery.
Blair, you're welcome.
King.
Thank you. You are a chat. You're the most chat, Scott.
Bro, what is this? What is this? China
Yeah,
has
we
to
made
agree as
it,
if they're gonna say no to getting free land and free.
Yeah,
food.
exactly.
I'm not saying they're gonna say no. I'm just saying that if he's saying it has to be, it was legally obtained. I'm also saying that it would have been legally ceded.
This is interesting.
They're showing us your kitchen.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Shit. I accidentally spat Diet Coke on my screen.
What?
I accidentally spilled
Why would you do
spat
that?
Diet Coke on the screen.
Why would you do that?
What was so funny?
Look at that Gennaro
Thank you, Spaded.
butler.
Compliment.
Oh!
Oh!
Fireman!
Oh,
what the
fire
fuck?
page, what?
Damn, dude, damn.
Bro.
Why? Okay, that's a bit far.
I did
That's a
not
bit-
mean to spit
Oh
it on
my gosh!
screen.
You stabbed it, dude!
got a
What the
cough.
fuck?
Bro, who the
Okay, that's getting muted.
who the fuck is unknown V2? Who the fuck is unknown
Oh,
V2?
that's corpses, man.
Well, we just got muted, so. Rip.
That's what it's doing, man.
It's the most retarded thing I've ever seen.
He is a retard.
Bro, and then he says, "Oh, like he genuinely believes that." Hey, Omega, you know how General Black Hawk left the SDF, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess whose party he joined without any silver tongue?
Wait, did you not even ask him?
Nope.
Right?
Really? Okay, that's pretty funny, actually.
Straight up going.
There we go.
Wait, what? What is in chat? Unknown V2! What the fuck?
Oh my god.
He meant
Hey, who's streaming?
okay, guys, he meant that he was cold as in, like, Necros's AC was broken, so he couldn't, like, stay in his house because it was, like, 30 degrees.
Ah,
Excuse me, guys. I'm the one who's recording my camera right
What?
now.
What now? Oh, I see what you're saying now.
No. It's about a point.
Girl.
See, Necros, all you're doing right now is just stroking my that's all you're doing. Let's be honest here.
If you talk to Necros, you're gonna talk over Necros. I have a point. No, wait, what? Corpse, man!
Yeah, Omega, can you see the General Black Hawk?
Can I
He's
what?
asking you why.
Corpse, that
General
was
Black
in the
Hawk.
past, buddy.
He's asking you why it's not worth it.
He wants to be teamed?
Corpse, buddy, that was from like past.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Tell him to rejoin the game.
You're dumb to buy a new car, that's why you're a big enough. Stop a big enough.
Yo, chill.
Buggy, what the hell are you doing?
Have you ever heard of Big Bill Hell's car?
No.
No.
Nobody has.
Am I the only one that has known that Good. Cor- Jesus. I feel like I'm the only one. I'm not the one who's gonna post the Big Bill Hells video into chat. Just look it up for your fucking self. Corpse. I do advise you, it does contain a lot of swears in it. Should I say?
Clear.
But it's fucking amazing regardless.
Clear.
He's muted.
I think he's still here. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, he's here. He's on the VC.
Yes, corpse.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
exactly the fucking video. I'm gonna give the reaction a thumbs up because that's exactly the video I was talking about. Omegafoot, you want to know something? I would rather you join the BNU instead of being a member of SGF. No, Britt, I'm not. What, Omegafoot?
Bro, don't worry about Omega Phase of Sweat.
Yo, we got a thumbs up Omegafoot post there.
Can we just force Omegafoot to change his fucking name?
Bro, Omega
No.
Fit is the biggest tryhard I have ever played against.
Bro, go find him up there.
He likes to troll in the SDF Discord, and I don't like it.
Biggest sweat ever.
Yo, are like stopped doing their government thing?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Really?
They shut down their government because Germany got bored of it. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I guess people from around can stick around our politics, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know why. I told him he should bring it back, but he's like, nah. Like, okay.
Corpse. I'm literally quoting stuff from Big Bill Hells.
Nobody knows
That's
what that
what
is.
I'm.
Oh, Atticus. Oh man. This is interesting. I'm compelled.
Omegafoot, I would rather you not troll me because
Hey, yo,
I will block you.
yo, you know?
1,000 shits given.
Oh, when you join the BNU, bro.
Oh,
And
I'm
yes,
real, alright.
Corpse.
I'm a man of the grill.
It is the best
I didn't
part.
hear you
of
on
the
the
show.
show.
It's awesome.
There's some stuff going down.
Omegafoot, let me
There's-
tell you something.
there's
I
some-
saw that in the
alright,
FDF chat,
alright,
and I want to say
There's some
I don't care.
pussies here. Pussy.
No, I'm running A.
Why?
Because Necro changed my mind.
How?
Because
How
of
do
what
you
he
change
brought
your
up.
mind?
With what?
What do you
That
bring
closing
up?
point.
How?
What do you even bring up?
I don't know, he just did.
He didn't even disprove any of my points.
He literally.
That's because you didn't make any
He did.
points. You just
My
said
points are that
give
they
away
are-
money, but we're not giving away money.
Stop.
You're
What
giving
class
away
is
money.
this?
Because
Bro,
you
it
said
says that
you
money,
didn't give away
money owed is money owned.
But it's not validly owed. They should not owe us money for the fact
Hang of me.
How's it not valid?
because they don't owe us money for the fact that they defended their own country. That's within their sovereign
Oh,
rights.
yes,
yeah,
they
no,
did,
no,
buddy.
They
the point
attack
he brought up.
our territory.
Dude, we shouldn't be forcing. We're not the moral police of China.
Exactly.
Yeah, so therefore we should just keep our own territory.
Jesus, Corpse.
We shouldn't interfere with Chinese politics by giving them land that will want to rejoin us anyway. Exactly.
So we shouldn't interfere with them by
I think
forcing them to
we
give
can
us
just-
land, but we should interfere by going to war with them later to force them to align with our ideology.
I never said that.
Okay, sure.
It was just having
Bird fucking king.
Omega Foot, I know ping me in the SCF chat, buddy. Then explain to me, Omega Foot, then why I saw a 1 at the icon of the SCF chat.
Let's see if another is back.
Corpse says, bro, we need Jimmy Boy. He will make the best decisions.
Bro.
Omega, you do realize I'm literally checking this chat like the whole time. I can literally see what you are posting. I know I'm not screenshotting it, but I mean, I can't tell you're making a post because I am literally looking at the fucking chat
Bro,
while
it's not
watching
that
YouTube.
deep. It's not that deep. You need to chill out.
Jesus Christ, guys.
Okay.
Who abstained?
Well, if Necros probably hadn't come in and started talking, I probably would have voted nay.
Half-Life said to count him. I should be 0.5. He said to count him as an abstention in all the next votes because he technically didn't want to vote on it.
Omega
So.
Foot, I'm not gonna respond to you anymore. So if I see you ping me, I'm not gonna comment about it. Otherwise, people are just gonna be
Is that
telling
the
me to
last
shut
bill?
up.
Ooh.
Is that the last bill?
No ending. We got time.
No, we're ending this.
Bro, we got plenty of time. I don't know what
We already went past our 30 minutes that we were supposed to
30.
spend
It's
on
30
it.
minutes per bill, bro, not per meeting.
I know.
Well, that's
Yeah,
because
we
you
went
guys.
past. We went
Well,
past
that's
30
because
minutes.
nobody
on this bill.
complained. If you guys said something, maybe they would have stopped it.
Robert, no one cares. Actually, I care.
Alright. Yeah, let's do one more.
Yeah, we can go for one more.
Yes,
It's only 8:20. We usually end at
what's
like
this bill
9:15.
about?
We got plenty of time.
Because it's
I'll post
fucking
it.
Parliament.
What's this bill?
Here, let me post it.
And shit is insane in here.
They're gonna give South Africa to the blacks.
No, I wouldn't be
Bro, I
surprised.
swear to God, if that's what this bill is, I'm gonna find a way to overstay.
Alright. Nah, it can't be. Hold on, wait, post it. I want to read it.
Who's the author of it?
Where is it? Where's the bill?
Is it Atticus?
Of course it's posting it. Hold on. I'm not sure. I think Cover made it. Probably because they said.
Necros,
Yeah.
your South Africa Dominion bill. I'm gonna read it now.
It's not mine, but Puffer wants to propose it.
It's Puffer's. You misspelled Puffer's
I
username.
swear to God, no.
Wait, Puffer wrote this, right?
Yeah.
He misspelled his own name.
What do you mean? Oh, ERB Day? Rip.
And also the I is an L in his name.
In my opinion, the South Africa bill seems like a good idea.
Dude, you read it already? It's been like 10
South
seconds.
Africa does exist, but I mean, I don't care.
No, South Africa does not exist.
It does not
In
exist.
this
This
country. I think
goal,
it came
this
in-
bill is to make it.
Yeah, I think I think they made it in like the 1880s or something.
Yeah.
Omega Foot, what the hell are you talking about?
Bro, why do we need a Senate and a House of Assembly?
Yeah, we
You
should
don't
just
need
stick
a
to,
Senate.
to
We already
having
have a fucking House of Lords.
we should just stick to having a Volksstaat, the South African Republic operate.
We should
Oh,
just have a
shit.
fucking House of Commons and House of Lords.
Also, I think I should be recognized as the Governor General of South Africa. I'm the only one who can bridge the gap between the Anglos and the Boers.
Fuck the board.
I'll make them loyal subjects. Don't worry.
Wait, they want to make Pretoria the capital? Come on.
Omega Foot, I say something. I
Why
did
not
not
Cape
hear what
Town?
they were talking about me in here, so I don't.
So Mr. We don't want to be the moral police of the world. All of a sudden wants to annex the Transvaal and the Orange Free State.
No
fucking worry about it. Don't fucking
Omega
worry.
Foot.
Don't fucking
Is
worry.
Transvaal even part of UK?
No, it's not. Not by this timeline. It's still the South African Republic. Neither is the Orange Free
Right.
State.
Transvaal doesn't even exist.
Bro,
So
Blitz,
now,
you
so
got
not only
any more background noise?
So not only does this man want to give land back to the Chinese, but he wants to annex land owned by innocent, hardworking farming bureaucrats.
That's a bit strange.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
That reminds me of the India bill.
Yeah, I'm gonna nay this one unless I'm the governor general.
Bitch, you can't vote nay. You're not in the parliament.
Daryl, make
Hey,
what
I'm not gonna
I said
ruin
that
my
in
bargain.
the chat.
No, I'm out. Like I got a bargain somewhere.
In 1860, like 20 years had gone by since the British government recognized the Trekkers living in Transvaal as independent, so they were revolting, but they weren't under British rule. So yeah, that would not really make any sense to just immediately annex
How about
Transvaal.
instead of this, we merge Cape of Good Hope and Natal, and then we make Transvaal and Orange Free State a different dominion.
Yeah, let the boards government.
They can be their own dominion. We can
In
split
fact, they can continue on as the Orange Free State. And
Nah, they gotta be under us. No,
they just have to acknowledge and make it as king.
Well, they can't be a republic.
That's what I would say.
But you can't have a you can't be called a republic if you have a
Yeah,
king. They'd have to rename.
Oh my god, that's ironic for you to say because you're in the exact party that Atticus isn't part. I swear to fucking.
Dude, I love how people are actually mad. This is actually fun.
Give me 2 months.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the discussion of that last bill. It reminded me of the home rule bill. Like it was so like that's what I want with Parliament.
Now you know what it reminded me of? The T-shirt ban.
Oh gosh.
It kind of. Well, there was less spectators because we didn't have spectators back then, so it wasn't as crazy.
It was definitely worse than the home rule bill, but it was still it. I didn't mean like the content. I just meant the vigor with which people argued.
That's
like
what I mean.
we don't get that with like the musical fife bill is a fine bill, but no one's gonna staunchly argue against it. So I like having the debate. Ice Machina made a tool that's like a fife, and he wanted it at HQ. And because I told him Parliament doesn't have the ability to force somebody to add anything, it's just like a recommendation.
Wait, is Cooper being true?
No, what he's referring to. So the Orange Free State were both in massive amounts of debt and agreed to be annexed by the British, but they did have room to cancel the bill. And so when they found diamonds in both states, they canceled that. They canceled their agreement, and that's what led to the first war. So
he wants us to invade them, then, right?
Yeah, he's basically asking to invade them because the only justification for an act.
But I already said something in the chat.
So in order for this bill to work, we have to invade South Africa.
Yes, because both countries canceled their agreement with Britain after it was discovered, after diamonds were discovered, and it got them out of So to approve of the China bill, but not that, but also this one makes zero sense.
This bill needs rewriting.
Also, that's
just like the India bill. The India bill needs rewriting. What? What is this? Official language Dutch? Are you crazy, dude?
Oh well.
Wow, now he wants us to have
Let
the only language of state
I
can
only
be
came
English.
here to tell you that I said that.
Wait, so what would it be called? The South African Federation? That's a dumb name.
As long as it doesn't emotional.
It should just be the Dominion of South Africa. That would be based.
This bill needs some more work.
Yeah, I agree. I like the idea of the bill, but to have the whole thing of it not being really agreed upon at this point between all the different states.
Bro, it's the same with the India bill. You guys said we should make the Dominion of India, but in this time period, literally half of India is not directly controlled by Britain.
We are going to invade India. I don't like them.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow, what a
There are
fucking
million
hipster.
people in the
What a
I'm just
fucking
joking. I
hipster.
feel like Sid's in
Let's see
this
how
call or
fucking
something.
hipster.
I don't
Let's see
actually hate
let's see
India, by
how
the way.
fucking-
Dude, I need to make a map of like everything we've done.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
He or what? He or she?
Whoa,
Go-
whoa.
Governor she?
Whoa, this is okay. Come on, come on. That's a little radical, don't you think?
Can't believe this.
Whoa.
See, Necros, this is what happens when you don't play. Now, granted, you were never really offered to partner up with us. I'm just afraid you get it.
No, it's okay. I would have said no. It's fine.
You both know that you were receiving.
A contradictory ideology that says it supports free trade, but then obviously doesn't really make sense to me. So.
How do I not support free trade?
Because the only way to support free trade with the Qing is to not have them be indebted to us for the next 20 years.
How would that?
Because trade will always be slanted in our favor if they're in debt to us.
Yeah, it's free trade.
So when everyone is free, someone will always have an advantage.
Yeah, the whole point of free trade is for our market advantage.
I could not hear a word you just said, Blair.
I said
Your mic is super bad right now.
we have like 3 fucking people talking.
It's not even that, like, your mic just in general is horrible.
The only person who can actually decide for you is Omega for some reason.
I can kind of understand you.
We've been going on this for like
2 hours.
yes.
Dude, it's fun.
After this bill,
No.
This
everyone...
is the last one, don't worry.
Atticus said he's done after this bill, and I think most of my party members are also in the same boat. I would go for all night, but I don't think anyone wants to do that, so we're going to end it after this bill, and I'm just going to tell everyone at the end of this session, we still have a good bit we didn't touch, and I have bills that I need to propose in the next Parliament session as well. So, prepare for a long one. Prepare to spend a lot of time. That's during summer or winter break for most people, so you don't have school. Although we might need to be moved if we're going to go to midnight or something like that, which I don't think we'll go that late, but something like that, because
Hell
it is
yeah,
on
let's
New
do
Year's
it.
Eve. So I cannot be here at midnight on New Year's Eve. I'm going to be with my family. But otherwise, if we move it to a different day, I will stay all night if we have to. I want to get all the bills done. I do not want to leave my tenure as prime minister with bills on the table.
Look what Half-Life just said. Africans on their way to winning the dominant European power. Okay, these Africans are white, so it's different.
Yeah, that's fair. It's funny
That
though.
was Rhodes. Dude, what the fuck does that mean? That was Rhodes.
What?
I'm pretty... Dude, they said no to unifying with us, so... In order for this to work, we have to invade them. Wait. Hunter, what the fuck? We cannot have a hereditary governorship. That's not...
Who said hereditary governorship?
Crow said hereditary.
No.
The bill specifically says that it's an appointment. So...
I will respond when Hunter sits down.
Yeah, you gotta say you don't vote. I have a... Bro, you know they're not gonna support the...
I mean...
What the hell does Volkstad even mean? That's not English.
It means People's Assembly. And I'm
Bitch,
just trying.
I thought you were Anglo superior.
Hey man,
What
I am.
happened?
It sounds neat. And I'm just trying to.
Bullshit.
I'm just trying to be inclusive to the Afrikaners, and also helping enslave the locals. What he said.
What?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Thanks, Omega. I'm definitely gonna be using that one. That's a good talking point.
Hey man.
What?
Hey man. I'm kind of like the average American.
I didn't say anything. What?
Just the fact that Hunter is basically allying with the fascist party, who's ultra nationalist, and then wants to name something in a Dutch word.
I don't even think you need to respond to this. Like, you have... What? You have 9 people and Crow has 1. You don't really need to say anything.
The Scottish Unionist Alliance doesn't exist in the Emperor's National.
Well, I mean, then he's still
He's literally
in his
a British
party,
National Union.
in this whatever he's done to agree with you in this session of Parliament, he's under the Scottish Unionist Party. So
No longer exists. That's it.
Well, he's still in it for this meeting because it was too late.
Either way, I'm just saying. I'm not even sure they're still allied. Yeah, they're not even allied with the main people.
Well, technically, Parliament can do whatever it wants as long as it can agree.
And I can hold 2 positions. Ain't no one said I couldn't.
Yeah, I think technically you can hold both, but I mean, it wouldn't work in real life, but I don't think there's any law against it, but that doesn't even make sense. Alright, I say we send this bill back to the microwave, and we update it a little bit.
Yeah, I think
I agree. It needs to be revised.
Also, we need to update the India bill because we forgot a huge part of it, and yeah, we should probably do that for next time. I love how Verdite is like, Atticus, what politician inspired you? And he actually answers like, I don't think he was serious. Yeah, so the problem is that they rejected their own joining it, but they might be more open to it if we let them have their own dominion. But also, I feel like it wouldn't be a bad idea to just let them have their own rulers. We don't really need to force them into our dominion. So why don't we have a dominion of we can have what would we call it? Dominion of the Cape.
Yeah, Dominion of the Cape. Or maybe the Cape and Natalia.
That's a little winded.
By the way, Mr. I want to give land back to the Qing, doesn't want to give the Natalia Republic back to the Dragon Village.
Sir, I have no idea what you're saying.
What?
I'm saying that the Natal province should be handed back over to the village.
No, we already settled it.
I'm saying that
they all left. Remember the whole Trek thing? They all left. Or at least most of them.
How are you?
Hey man. Now, Necros is the one where you're wanting to get reparations. I'm just trying to placate.
I very clearly gave away the reparations, did away with the reparations, other than one tiny island that at this point does no good because the only thing it was agreed for in the treaty was to allow us to careen and redo our ships, but we've agreed with this new treaty to do that at any port in China.
This is that treaty that's gone. And I'll be the greatest. I'll be like the Donald Trump. I'll make it great.
Bro, do you have your microphone shoved inside of a fan? Is that what I'm hearing? The blades go around your mic?
Hey, bro,
bro, they want the capital of South Africa to be Victoria. We don't even own that yet.
Yeah, we don't.
I actually had a pretty cool map of South Africa. I'm trying to find where I put it. Oh, I found it.
Don't worry, I'll handle this next insert.
Blair has the best mic I've ever heard.
Oh my god.
Don't worry,
dude.
that's all I
It sounds like,
hear.
it sounds like a fan, like the blades on a fan.
It does.
Alright, you should look at the chat.
Bakari.
McCary, bro.
Bakari needs power, so letting him get South Africa would be outright nonsense. Also, he just wants power. How does he know?
The personal messages between me and Indy are just absolutely amazing.
Dude, Indy's giving a full speech. He's like walking up and down the aisle.
Yeah, I know.
My man is pacing.
Yo, Necros.
Yo, what's up?
Look at the chat logs.
I don't know. Wait, what chat log are you talking about? I just saw something else in the back of your mom's throat. Never mind, I found it.
You're welcome, Necros.
That's pretty great.
It is written for the good of the people. Bruh. Are we seriously giving a fuck about the people there?
Listen, man, we give a lot about the Africans. We care.
Look,
I mean,
as long
technically,
as
like,
they speak
according
English,
to-
I don't care.
I mean, according to local law,
we're forcing them to speak English.
The bill says they don't have to speak English.
It says they have to speak Dutch.
Yeah, the fuck that. With what speaking Dutch?
Yeah, we're not from the Netherlands. I don't give a. I literally do not want.
Even
do
Necros
not.
doesn't support that for her, and he's like a radical leftist.
I'm not a radical leftist. The Liberal Party was not radical left. This is. The fact that I don't support the pure cronyism from Hunter trying to just give away positions to his friends who, what, Blair has one establishment as a member of parliament that he didn't even attend before he left? That's cronyism.
I would bridge the gap. I'm the only hope for peace in South Africa.
The only hope for what? The Empire from Star Wars in real life? What?
I mean, are you telling me you don't side with the Empire?
World War II 100 years earlier? Is that what you're the only hope for? 80
Damn
years
right.
earlier? Hey, damn right, what? What?
Necros, you gotta remember from the meetup, I was hardcore going through that.
That's fair.
I literally cried when talking to you guys. I was like, no.
Oh, your microphone. Nobody can understand what you're saying.
Only
I understood a little bit of it.
Only the pure heart understands.
That's Mike.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. All I see is like dashes. I guess I just mean.
Blair's mic is what hashtags sound like. They're delaying it. Bro, you guys should let me help with these Dominion bills because
I would love for them to have you be consulted with the
you
Dominion
have
bills.
a
I haven't
bad
written
track
either of
record.
the Dominion bills.
I know, they have a bad track record with them. They forget about the situation. I mean, I know it doesn't really matter, but still. Like, India is controlled, like, 50% of it is controlled by, like, local princes, and the Dominion bill doesn't really, like, address that at all.
What's up with the document that Puffer is supposed to?
So, the docket is what bills we're voting on. If you go to the Parliament chat in the EVI group Discord, and then go to the pin, like on the top it says pinned messages, click that, and the bottom one is the docket. Although I think the docket should be newest to old instead of old to new, Necro.
Ugh, I don't like newest to old.
But then you have to scroll down. I mean, eventually it's gonna get
Well,
really long.
that's because the link that's pinned in the chat is the link to the whole document, but I have a bookmark that I normally change to each one, so you. I can send you the bookmark link if you want, so you can pin that in the chat instead.
Well, then we're gonna have to. I mean, if you want to repost it, then I'll read it.
I can do that. Yeah. Let me finish this off. I was just gonna give you a couple seconds and then say it. So if you don't have anything, that's okay.
Hold on.
No, we're just ending.
I can hear that beautiful microphone.
Hey, you already know. You see my sexy.
Medical training, maybe.
Oh yeah. Wait, what? Isn't there a is there a rifle training after?
Yeah.
Not
Sharp's
not to.
low.
Well, if Frozy wants to host it, he can. But he's not here,
He's not
and
here.
I have to go because my family wants to hang out, and I told them I had to wait 2 hours just for this. So
Okay. That's fine.
okay. So I am going to do the vote recap after I get back from hanging out with family.
Oh, by the way, happy Thanksgiving.
Dude, you too. How's Thanksgiving in the barracks, bro? Do they or wherever you're staying? Does it suck?
It was pretty nice. Like they did this program on base where a family that lived on base could adopt a soldier. So me and everybody got to go have Thanksgiving.
It's pretty cool.
A bunch of dogs. Also
Alright.
very base and red coated.
All right, I'm gonna leave the call. I will be back on Discord later, but obviously the call will probably be dead. So peace. All right. Hello, chat. I'm sorry you had to hear my spam typing. That's kind of why I joined the chat, so you guys could hear them talk. It picked up in size a little bit later. Anyway, thanks for watching. This will be a good way to look back on Parliament and how it went. So everyone have a good day. I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving, and I will see you